Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to episode number 9 in our video series for JDBC full CRUD application. In the previous video, we implemented update operations for all of our data entities. And in this video, we are going to implement the delete operations. Let's get to it. Of course, we'll start with the cars. So in the car form UI, gonna go to the delete button and double click on it to get inside of the code behind the click event of that delete button. And here we are going to delete only if we have selected a single car from our table, and therefore with the user action of clicking on the table, one car is being selected in that part, and it is stored in the current car object, a variable or property. And we have to check here if that current car is not null. So just say if current car is not equal to null, then we can proceed with the deletion. However, if it's not, if it's null, then we have to display a message that there's nothing to delete. So I'll just copy here and just say the message is no item to delete. Alright, so inside of here, if we are able to select a car and therefore the current car is not null, then we can proceed with the deletion. Now we don't have the delete functionality yet into our data access object for car, so let's do that first. You go to our DB package, and in our car DAO, we open up, we add a method for deletion. So here we say public static void delete, and of course we're going to pass in a car object that we are going to delete, and this function or method throws an exception. And in here we're going to prepare a statement. And the statement is simply delete from cars where ID is equal to that ID that we have selected. Now the ID is taken from the car object, so we say ps.setInt for parameter 1. There's only one parameter here. We get it from car.getID. And finally ps.execute, or not execute query, you can just use execute here, and that's all there is to it. Close. All right. So now let's use this method onto our code here. We say car DAO dot delete. We pass in the current car. Also, we are going to put this inside of a try catch, of course. And paste in the message box. And besides deleting from our database, we also have to update our display. So we will do that by simply deleting the particular car from the list. And we have our car list dot remove. I'm gonna remove current car from the list, and also we are going to set our current car as null. And finally we call again tabulate to reset the content displayed on the table and clear fields, to clear the fields from the form right here, because this will be filled up when we click on one car. So that's the code, and let's try it out. Cars here. Click on Honda City and click on delete. You cannot delete. Oh, by the way, I forgot, we have to put here also, before we actually do the deletion, is we have to make sure that we display first a confirmation. So let me remove that one. Let's have our confirmation first. So confirmation is simply a confirm dialog. We have a J option pane that show confirm dialog. We're going to use this one. Of course, our parent component is this, and a message is, are you sure about deleting, and then the current car, the question mark, and the title will be delete with a question mark, and the type is going to be J option pane dot yes no option. Right? And this particular method call is going to return an int depending on the button that the user clicks. And so we assign that into a variable called response. And to make this more legible, let's bump down some of these things. All right. So the response of the user, whether yes or no, is going to be stored on the response, and it's in an integer. So we can check that one. If response is equal to J option pane that yes option, then we can perform the deletion, the actual code of the deletion. Now, depending on our database structure, if the database structure have a restricted setup, then you cannot delete a car if that particular car have some reference to the other table, which in this case is the rental table. If that particular car's ID exists on the rentals table, specifically on the car ID on the rentals table, it will not be deleted if the setup is restrict. However, it will be deleted if the setup is cascade. In our case, we are using the restrict, so that's why we cannot delete some of the cars that we have here. For example, this Nissan Almira was used in rental, so when we click on delete and click on yes, it's not going to delete this because it's already being used, and I think that's a good thing. However, if you add another car, since this is a new car, this will not have been used in the rentals yet. So let's have one Ford Fiera, if that car still exists. Let's have a green, and this is year 1998. Click on save, right? And the tabulate method is not called on the create. Let me correct that one. Supposedly, after we click on save, we have to call tabulate again. All right. Oops, we have an error. It should be instead of a try catch. Right, so let's add another one. Let's have Honda Civic black. Save, and still nothing. Why? Oh yeah, still have to add it into the list, of course. And come to think of it, the update already have the tabulate call. Let me remove this one out. And on top here, after we added that car, we also are going to add that car into the list. So car list dot add C in there, and after that we call tabulate. All right. Again, let's have Subaru. I don't know any Subaru. Let's have Chevrolet Bolt, color white, and year 2019. Click on save. Okay, yeah, there you go. All right. And when we click on one and click on delete, and yes, and it is deleted. So let's also implement this same thing to our two of the other entities, customers and rentals. Again, let's start with this time. Let's start with a DAO. So we go to customer DAO. Let me close these others here, and we add a method for delete, which will pass in a customer. Again, we have a prepared statement. And the statement is simply delete from customers where ID equals question mark. And we pass in set int 1, and we have customer dot get ID. Then we execute and close. All right. Now we move on with our UI, customers form, and down below, double click on delete. Again, we check if there exists a selected customer which is named current. So if current is equal to null or is not equal to null, then we proceed. But if it's equal to null, we are going to display a message, an error message at that. And the message reads, no customer selected. And here, again, we are going to have a confirmation. Show confirm dialog. And the message is, are you sure you want to delete current? and delete here. This is a yes no option. Again, let's bump this down, and we assign this into a integer response. And if response is equal to yes option, then we proceed with the deletion. Inside here, we are going to put a try catch. Let's just copy a catch from somewhere. This one. And here we call customer DAO dot delete current. And of course, we remove also that from our list. What's the name of our list? It's customer list. Remove the current, and then we set the current to null, and then we call tabulate again and clear fields. Okay, let's try this. Just like the cars, if the customer is used in a rental, then it will not be deleted. Let's try Huawei, delete, yes, and we are able to delete Huawei. If you check on our rentals, we have Jason Ben and William James Jacobs and Roberto Perez. Let's try deleting Roberto Perez. This one, delete, yes, and you can't delete it because of constraints. Finally, let's do that for our rentals. So we go back here to our code, and in our rental DAO, again, we add the delete method, which passes in a rental. Right? Not a function. Okay, and have prepared statement again. Not select, come on, delete from rental where ID equals question mark, and ps dot set int ID is coming from rental dot get ID, ps dot execute, and ps dot close. Now in our UI rentals form here, we go down, double click on delete. Again, we check what's our current. The current name is just current. So if current is not equal to null, you can proceed. Otherwise, we are going to display a message, an error message. The message is no rental is selected. Next here, we assign a response for a J option pane. Let's show confirm dialog. And are you sure about deleting rental? Delete. Yes no option. Again, we bump this down. This is current. Okay. And if response is equal to the option pane dot yes option, then we delete. Alright, so here we call on rental DAO dot delete current. What's wrong? Oh, it's not static. Should be static. Oh, public static void delete. Yeah. And after deleting that, we also remove from the list rental list, rentals list. Is it? No. Rentals. I'm not consistent with naming. Sorry about that. Dot remove current, and then current equals null, and then tabulate, and then clear the fields. Let's try this. Of course, there will be no restriction here because no other tables depend on rentals table. So click yes, and there you go. Alright, so we have successfully implemented delete operations on all three of our data entities. Next time, we will be adding some filter functions into our application. That will be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, if you like these kinds of videos, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified of new videos that I upload. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again next time.